there's a game I like to play. Then this is going to put us. That's called Fantasy Future now. Okay, I'll explain the rules to you. You can tell me yes or no to whether or not you want to play the game or not. All right. Well, this is one of my favorite games to play when we're talking about like looking into the future or looking into see what the vision is or what is that we really want. All right.
Okay.
It is a game. Okay. So because there's a game, there are ways to there are rules in here and way to get points. All right. And the rules are all in the title. All right. So the first one it's called fantasy. So what we're going to do here is we're not in the space of goals. We're not in the space of dreams. We're not in the space, like we're in the space of fantasy. So that to me is like, it's desire, it's wishes, we're getting out of my mind. I'm like, if it's a goal or a dream, then you know how to get there. And again, it's like, okay, we got that. You have that in some way, shape or form, those steps we're talking about. And when we talk about fantasy, we're getting to the place where it's like, that's my, like, some fantasies you don't even tell people. Like that's the place that we're in, right? It's like that base side of like, this is just what I want. I just desire that, right? The other part of the fantasy part of this here is that I have no interest at all during this part of the game for anything that is pragmatic or realistic or that you can even see yourself like achieving, I just I have no interest in it at all. We can come back and bring in all the pragmaticism to it all. There will be a time and a place, but for this game, it is fantasy for a reason, right?
Okay.
So you will lose points if it's like, well, it's a game, right? You will lose points when you're playing with what feels realistic to you, right? And look, part of the hint behind that is what you already said. You said the person you will become in 2 years, like you're not that person right now, so you can't even see what it would look like. So I don't want you to be caught based on the Jenica of today as we play this game. Does that work for you?
Okay. Yeah, that works great.
All right, cool. The second one is future, right? We're going to work 2 years from now, right? So it's going to be the end of January of, what is it? What would that make it then? 2022, right? End of January 2022. Yeah. For this game, I like to meet somewhere. So if you and I were going to meet like 2 years from now, anywhere, like where would we be meeting?
Oh, Fiji. Let's meet in Fiji.
Awesome. So we're meeting in Fiji. Whereabouts? Describe the area around us for this conference.
So we're meeting like a cabana. There's like a lot of fresh fruit and just like airy and lots of comfortable seating. There's water underneath us. We're on this open platform with white couches and just like lots of sunshine and like a nice ocean breeze and just so much like grounded happiness.
Fantastic. Oh, thank you for choosing such an awesome place.
Yeah.
Think to yourself, you don't need to tell me right now, why are we in Fiji right now? All right. So think about that really quickly. Okay. So the time frame is end of January of 2022. We're in Fiji. There's wonderful water, all this stuff. We're in the cabana. It's all this. And we're having a great conversation. All right. The last part of this, is that good for you in terms of that rule?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The last part of it is now. Right. And so we're going to be having that conversation as though it is happening right now, right in this minute. All right. What that means is, yes. What that means is that like when I snap my fingers, we're going to be magically transported both in time and in space to the end of January 2022 in Fiji, in the cabana, right then and there. We're going to continue the conversation as though it's happening right now. And basically you lose points if we're like, we're not talking, like we're looking at it as we're there and we're looking back or we're looking forward from that point. All right. Is that clear?
That's very clear.
All right, cool. So with that, then, are you interested in playing Fantasy Future now?
I am.
All right, cool. So let's just jump into it. We'll get there in 3, 2, Jenica, wow.
Oh, hey.
I am like, I have never been to Fiji, and this like see like being in this amazing like environment is just working on me. I am feeling more rejuvenated than I've felt in a long time. I'm feeling more inspired than I've felt in a long time. It is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for reaching out and having me come out and join you out here.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so happy to have everyone here.
It's really cool. Like tell me more about like what's going on. Why are we here?
So we are getting ready to do Richard Branson's mastermind, and we're meeting all of our closest family or closest friends and business partners, people that we've been collaborating with and just making a lot of magic with over the last couple of years. And it's all accumulating on this island.
That's like, I wouldn't have it any other way. All right. I wouldn't have it any way. It's so wild that we're already here. And at the same time, it makes so much sense. Like just thinking about like what, 2.5 years ago, we didn't even know each other. And now like look what's taking place here. And just thinking about you and your journey, you've created so much, you've done so much here. So tell me about like what's happening in your world right now.
So, so much is happening, and it's just really beautiful. I've retired from my corporate job. I have embraced speaking and remixing music for myself, as well as like really high-end clients. And the wait list is years long. And so it's just really exciting to see my DJ company coming into full swing, speaking on a lot of high-end stages with Bo Eason and Brendan Burchard and Rachel Hollis. And opening up my own conferences and just seeing my movement from certified high performance coaching to now remixing your mind and remaking your life as a brand that is known in the industry.
It's really fun, like to see all this here, like the speaking that you're doing, who your peers are, the people that you're sharing stages with here, and the movement itself that's coming out here with the different organizations underneath, like to have the DJ like experience and DJ company underneath that as well. How does it feel to have created all this
here? It feels so fun, and I just fun, and it's humbling, and it's exciting. Like it's exciting to see it in real life because it was such a dream for so long.
Yeah. Tell me what else is going on in your life. So I know I'm going to like explore like the business side, and you know how I love movement. So we're going to be talking all about the remixing. But I am really curious, like what else is going on in terms of your relationships, your impact, the other things that are going on in your world, your family.
Yeah. So now that I've retired from corporate, I've been able to just travel and spend a lot of time with my family. So I was only seeing them maybe once or twice a year when we first met. And now it's like my mom will travel with me. They work for my business. They'll come spend weekends with me whenever they want, or we go different places. And I just love that because like one of the specific goals that I had when we first started talking was like, I fly first class with my family. And it was because I spent so many years at the back of the plane by myself or with a boss that I did not resonate with. And it was like, no, I want to travel and see the world with my family and my friends. And so now that's a reality, and just having their support in my business and making it a family ordeal, working with my sister and her husband and my parents, and my husband's getting on board, and he's super supportive, and just knowing that we're creating an empire and the impact that we're having of people want to be motivated. People want to make those emotional difference shifts, and they see their life. They're excited about it. They're excited to be the change that they dreamed of, and like they go to these resources to get amped up or to get, it's become a foundation in business of, this is what we do. We have fun while we change. We have fun while we evolve. We bring in music, we dance, we lift each other up, we encourage each other. We're in this environment of encouragement. And it's just so fun to see like the vibration rise in the world.
That's fantastic. Like, I mean, I've been able to experience you myself, so I know what it's like to have that like vibration just keep going. And I'm someone that lives at like a fairly high frequency as it is. So like the work that you're doing is just phenomenal. I really appreciate you stepping into that and just really, really choosing to play at this level, right? Because you could have done this in any other way, but you chose to play at this level, and I really acknowledge you for that.
Thanks.
And I'm hearing too, as if I'm getting this right here, that like, as you continue to have success here, you're doing this with family throughout. Your relationships are in a place where like they're literally coming on the journey with you. Like you're flying them first class, like, and they're in the business with you. Like you have found a way to bring together your relationships and the things that you're creating. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So it was, years and years of like living in different states and maybe seeing each other once a year. And it's just like, there has to be a better way. And they were always my biggest fans of like, I'd host a webinar. They'd be like the first 3 people on it out of 11. And finally, I'm like, they keep offering, like, what can we do to support you? What can we do to support you? And I'm like, actually come work for me. So they're retired, and now they have full-time jobs supporting this business. So, but it's like, it's a plaything for this family, and they understand it. They love it. They want the coaching, and it's like, you don't have to pay for coaching, Mom. Like, you work in the business, you can have the coaching for free. But she comes to the events. She loves on all the people that are coming. Mama Sue Bear, and they're just there. They're helping, check people in. They're there selling swag, and it's like they're encouraging people. They're there dancing front row. And it's just like they're living out a great vision. And it's without their support, it's just like, with their support, it's just a big, big celebration of life. And just the biggest way I could thank them for all they did in my life is just truly honor them by showing up all the way. So when we do that together, it's just the most amazing feeling of, a family.
Yeah, I'm really feeling that. Kudos to you for creating that and bringing that into your world. Like, it's awesome looking at this here, and it's, just seeing the success and the journey that you've gone through on the outside of things. Like, I mean, it looks like just exponential meteoric success there, and it also doesn't surprise me at all. I do remember a time, maybe about like 2 years ago, almost exactly to the day, where you and I were having a conversation, and you were talking a bit about that, like, you're really looking for courage and like to have like some like a relentlessness to you and to own different things. I'm curious about like, how has courage played out for you over the last 2 years, and maybe you can tell me a little bit more about that.
Oh man, courage is everything to me. And I always used to think it was a confidence issue. It was a courage issue. Like, I just didn't have the courage to be who I thought I needed to be. Even from like, working with a bunch of male engineers, I'd wear like the male polo and like the men's small shirts and like try to just like blend in. And it was like, this isn't who I am. Like, I got to show up and do this in my own way. And it was just the courage of letting the expectations of my own life, the lid off my own life of like, you can be an engineer at one point in your life, and you can be an entrepreneur or a coach in the next phase. You can go back and DJ and remix your own music. You can, it doesn't have to look like what anyone else has done. Like, that's going to be a blockbuster type of a situation, not like a Netflix situation. So it's just like, who is the next like relevant Jenica in the journey? And that doesn't need to make sense to anyone except for me. And so it was just having the courage to step in and embrace that. And honestly, it was be okay with the results, because they're not going to be what you expect. They're going to be far above like what you can expect. So
I'm looking at it now. It's like, can I ask you there, like, now that since you like have clearly been living it here, like, who is that next Jenica? Who are you now that you've had the courage to be who you are? Tell me, who are you?
It's funny because the things that I love still really bring me joy. So like, I still love big dogs. I still love journals, and I still love, it's just that I'm able to do it with the people that I really love. And before, it was like, I was limited to experience that in like short bursts of like, oh, you can go see your family for a weekend. And it's like, the Jenica of now is like, no, you're experiencing exactly what you want to experience with who you want to experience it, when and where. So it's just like, it's not necessarily that the person is different, it's just different locations or in a different way. So it's like we're in different countries, or we're together is the biggest difference. And then just it's not limited in the time. So it's not just over a Christmas holiday. It's, on a Tuesday in February, like we're together as a family, or we're at an event, we're at a mastermind. So it's like we're growing as a family instead of being limited to, you have 3 days over Thanksgiving break.
Can I ask you, what was like the biggest shift from the time after we had that conversation 2 years ago till now? Like, if you had, like, what was the thing that, like, the biggest shift that happened? What was the thing that happened?
The biggest shift was when, honestly, it was what you said to me, and it was just so, and it wasn't necessarily specifically what you said, it was just the whole concept of like these big ideas that you have, and like, we often blow them up in our minds with our project plan or the way our vision casts, and we want to think big. And it's like, that's cool, and there's a space for that, and let that be there. But what's the next step tomorrow to get that and like hold that excitement? Like, you spoke about this dream and passion that you had that you had put off for 2 years, and you talked about losing that flame and that real fire for it. And you're like, don't lose that now, because you're trying to fill like an interim need. Like, don't let your vision of the future go on pause and lose that fire because you're trying to fill an immediate interim need. And it's just like breaking down the barriers of entry. And that's exactly what you did. It's just like, break it down, be messy, but get in it and make sure that you're having that fun, because if there's no fun, there's no fire. So just getting in where your fire is, play with your fire, your unique passion.
We're just getting started. Click on the link below to watch the full conversation, and go to niyamaashawn.com/tribe to get additional resources and exclusive invitation to tribe-only events. Journey on.